Hey, it's Jeff McNichol down here at Mom's Music, 1900 Melwood Avenue. I was just thinking, when I was a kid, the magic was at Frankfort Avenue, the Mom's Music at Frankfort Avenue, and I used to beg people to get a ride down there just to hang out with the guys and see all the cool gear. Now that I'm the owner of this store, it's like a dream come true. We're recreating the magic with the vibe that we used to have at the old store. We're carrying all the gear that you're going to possibly want. We're giving you the outstanding service and personal attention that you deserve. Yeah, so we've got the great guitar shop here. We're carrying USA Fender, USA Gibson, Paul Reed Smith, Gretsch, Jackson, Charvel, anything you could possibly want. We're going to have it for you. Mom's is and always will be Louisville's music store.
Thank you for tuning into the Metal Forge. I am Mark Jackson and I'm your host. The premise of the show is pretty simple. Awesome interviews and awesome music. If you want to contact me, hit me up at metalforgeradio@gmail.com or visit the website metalforgeradio.com. And now let's get this show on the road. Thank you for tuning into the Metal Forge. I'm your host, Mark Jackson, and it is January the 1st. Happy New Year to everybody. Hopefully y'all didn't get too trashed last night, and hopefully you did. If you did it safe and didn't have like a fuck ton of people there getting COVID and all that shit, because that would suck. Because if I don't go to a show soon, I'm probably going to go fucking nuts, because I really want to see some bands play live and not on the computer screen in a room full of like nobody but them. I want to feel the music, if you know what I'm talking about, which you should. So, today, holy shit, Hellripper, James McBain, is going to be on the show. Look forward to talking to him. He seems like a really cool fucking cat, has some awesome black fucking thrash metal, and if you're into bands like Wraith, you're really going to like this guy, and just the stuff that they put out, because it's fucking killer. You know, you've got this old school feel to a lot of it. You know, you've got some early Metallica, you got some Slayer, you've got some other stuff in there. And then you've got the vocals, which are, pretty heavy. So I think y'all are going to dig it for sure. Hopefully everybody had a good holiday. Thank you all for listening to last week's episode as well, the 100th episode of the Metal Forge, where I was able to feature Saber from Church Recordings, Trevor Church of Haunt, and along with the other guests that had, sent in their well wishes for the 100th episode. I want to thank every single one of you guys. You guys have made the show possible and made it happen for me to be able to feel like I'm doing a good job in the metal community. So, speaking of 2020, I'm going to do a little bit of a review really fast. So I had 51 guests on the show, and pretty much all of them had put out new material last year and are already working on new material for 2021. Some of them have had issues getting vinyl, which sucks. Oath, Saber, those guys, I really feel for them, because I really want their stuff on vinyl, because fuck. Vinyl's where it's at for independent music these days. Such a cool collector piece. I know tapes are up there too, but I'm not really a tape collector guy. I love the vinyl. I love seeing great cover art, and ironically enough, those two bands I listed are artwork done by the same guy. Shout out to Pit Forge, Daniel Porta. If you're in a band, check him out. He does awesome fucking work. So mostly everybody kind of released some stuff last year. So it's in the grand scheme of things, I'm going to do, I said last week that it's really going to be difficult to do like a top 10 list. And some people were doing top 10 albums, top 10 EPs. For me, this week, I'm going to do a top 5 release. EP, single, album, whatever. Because it's these things that, and it's going to be the ones that I've listened to repeatedly. They're all going to be things that have come out in 2020. So let's get into that really fast. What do I have here? I'm going to have to go with number 5 is going to be Embrace the Arcane by Underking. Max came on the show back last year around May, and he had just released their first 2 albums. I say 2 albums because they were pretty much a split, where they had Ghosts of the Past and Amongst the Dead, and one side was Max's side and the others was Dustin's side, and it was really something that, you know, I hadn't heard before, where these 2 guys were pretty much 6,000 miles apart from one another and recorded an album together. It's just them. So that was pretty fucking cool. But he has continually gotten better and better and better throughout 2020. And this most recent release of his, which is Embrace the Arcane, that had dropped on December the 11th, was wicked fucking awesome. I've listened to it about 49 times. So yeah, it really hasn't left my player there. So I'm looking forward to what Max and Under King is going to be doing for 2021. Next on my list, number 4, is Torment of Giants. Their album that came out back November the 7th of 2020. Super fucking cool. Art punk type stuff. You know, really deep lyric. I've known Courtney Pennick for a long time, and I'm always amazed at what she can be a part of and put out and release. It's super fucking cool. You know, they were featured back in the show in June. You need to listen to this. It's on Bandcamp. I suggest you purchase it because, like I said, it's 8 songs and it's really deep punk meaning. Number 3 is going to be Magic and Mischief by Spellbook. And I was completely blown away by seeing the artwork on there. And here's the thing. Here's the key to these guys. They were a random band that I just selected on the Metal Archives. I saw that they had put this out, and I was like, holy shit, this is fucking awesome. It checks all the boxes. You know, I used to not be like a big power metal fan or anything like that, or mythic metal fan. All of a sudden, I was probably like 29 or 30, and I got into Iron Maiden because I went and took the Nestea plunge on them and saw them live, and was like, fuck, this is insane. So then I've like delved in deeper and deeper into the fucking awesomeness of that, and then I find bands like Spellbook who have blown me away by the artwork and the music that follows and the idea. Number 2 is going to have to be Strike of the Witch by Saber. I would have picked the album had I heard it, more than likely, because if these 2 songs, which is the single of Strike of the Witch and Speed Racer, would be anything like what the album is going to be, it's my jam. It's fucking cool shit. And it's like, wow, here we go. Business has just picked up, as JR would say. And, you know, having them on the show last week, wow. Super cool dudes. They're completely down to earth. Absolutely love talking to them. Can't wait for things to clear up and these guys go on tour, because I'm booking them here in fucking Louisville when they show up, when they go on tour. Absolutely gonna happen. Before I get into number 1, I am gonna bring up some honorable mentions on the show here. These are the bands that, you know, could have made the list at any given time, because I have jammed out repeatedly on their albums and EPs and so on and so forth, where they are all amazing bands. I just had to look at the numbers here, and honestly, a lot of these bands were beat out just by minuscule numbers, and it's probably because I've got into listening to the bands that I feature that week on the show. So, honorable mention number 3, The Vulture's Amulet by Lady Beast. A super fucking awesome 9-track album. Originally released, had a gold leaf on the album cover, super fucking cool. And then now they've got like a splatter color vinyl of purple and like gold. Super awesome looking shit. I think I might even have to buy a copy of that just because of having the keepsake. It's got some purple and some pink, and it's just really fucking cool. Metal Machine, Runes of Rust, you know, Sacrifice to the Unseen. Wow, you can't go wrong with shit like that. Honorable mention number 2 is going to be Mind Freeze by Haunt. I was turned on to Haunt towards the end of last year, and I was like, wow, this is really fucking cool. I originally heard the Luminous Eyes. I dug their logo, first off. I dug the logo of Haunt with the little lightning bolt going through the word, so I bought a patch of it, and it came with the Luminous Eyes digital EP. And I was like, this is fucking killer. And jammed and jammed and jammed Illuminize. It made me feel awesome. It made me, appreciate stuff in the past. It had to me like a little bit of Floyd from like the Animals era Floyd stuff. So I jammed and jammed and jammed on it. And then, Trevor released Mind Freeze earlier this year. And, it starts out with fucking Light the Beacon. And it's just, whoa, what is this new stuff? Completely fucking awesome. Completely fucking awesome. Dig it. Love it. Honorable mention number 1 should honestly be tied with number 1 of the actual list, and that's going to be Opulent Decay by Spell. I cannot begin to tell you how much of that album has like went through my speakers. It should be an obscene amount. I really can't just like say that they wouldn't be on the list, because back May 1st I had Cam Mesmer on the show, and we got to talk about so much cool stuff. Check it out, it's in the archives. All of these people are in the archives, by the way. And the album had just came out. It was such a different metal feel. If you look at their Bandcamp page, it says hypnotizing heavy metal on there. And that is absolutely what this is. It's whimsical, it's heavy, it's goth, it's fucking powerful. And the artwork alone makes you question everything. I just, I can't say nothing negative about that album. With everything on the album, with every song on the album, Opulent Decay, Psychic Death, Primrose Pass, Dawn Wonder, Atraxia. Oh my gosh, Atraxia. So awesome. Get a copy of it. Go into the dark room by yourself. Put on your headphones if that's your jam. Listen to it on your awesome speakers, because you're going to love it for sure. Number 1 is going to be the Chain Gang EP by Warcloud. Crazy, fucking ridiculous, fucking just traditional heavy metal. The album that they had came out with before that, the Earhammer Sessions, such a good album. But when they released, the Chain Gang EP in September, I was completely blown away. First, it starts with the artwork. The 4 shadowed figures with, chains and crowbars and bullet belts. Just the way it looks. And you got the plane in the background above the moon. You could tell that you're going to be open for business on this. And then you listen to it, and it's just got this awesome fucking, this awesome sound. Honestly, it reminds me of UFO on steroids. UFO is what they are. They're fucking heavy as shit when they want to be. But this is even better. So kudos to the guys in Warcloud and everybody else on the list who made the top 5 releases of 2020 for the Metal Forge. I'm looking for more of these guys and girls in the future, and holy shit, it's crazy. Thank you again to the sponsors, Mom's Music, Maxwell's House of Music. Call Mike and Howard respectively there, and you can order whatever gear you want. You can have it shipped to you. You don't have to go in. You can even order online if you want to. Go to Tattoo Charlie's. You can set up your appointment and get a gift certificate for whoever you need to get one for. Thank you for, tuning into the Wrestling Steve show. His numbers have been jumped up dramatically, and thank you all for that. He's a cool fucking dude. Also, thank you to Kentucky Hot Brown Pedalboards for, running their ad on my show, because they're fucking awesome people, Kenny and Tony Marine. They have great quality product. So go get you a fucking pedal board. And the Patreon subscribers, and you listeners, because you're fucking awesome. So thank you to everybody for that. So anyway, I've yacked about, top 5s for a while now. Let's listen to some Hellripper here. And this is going to be off of the new album, The Affair of the Poisons. This is going to be Vampire's Grave. The All right, metalheads, I am being joined on the line right now from Scotland again. And this is another treat for me because I always enjoy talking to musicians overseas. I'm being joined by James McBain from Hellripper. How are you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing very well. Thank you very much.
Just recently enjoyed some holidays. Hopefully yours were well. And what do you have in mind for 2021?
It's kind of difficult to say right now, I guess. With everything, it's kind of uncertain. I guess a lot of people are in the same kind of position that we're in. I'm trying to plan things the best I can, but at the same time, I don't want to plan things and then have to cancel it and change things and all that. So it's just at the moment, I'm writing for the next album, and hopefully that'll be out sooner rather than later. And if it allows, then maybe we'll get a few shows in. But yeah, like I say, I'm not too focused on planning things right now until things are cleared up a bit.
Definitely. Tell everybody about Hellripper, because it seems like my guest in Oath that you're kind of a one-man show.
Yeah. Hellripper is just a thing that I started in 2014 or so, that I just wanted to write and play music in my favorite style, which is like Black Thrash, metal punk, speed metal kind of thing. And I had no one in my area that was interested in the same kind of music or that would play an instrument in that band. So I decided I would try and do everything myself and learn how to record and mix things while doing that. And yeah, over the years it's progressed into playing live shows. I've put out albums and things. But yeah, it's black speed metal, I guess, similar to bands like Toxic Holocaust or Venom, later Dark Throne. Yeah.
Definitely. You said you started in 2014. It's so cool because, I look up the Metal Archives, and just like Wikipedia, they do a lot of due diligence on finding as much factual evidence as possible.
Yeah.
But some things, it's always, the thing of you might get something wrong.
Yeah.
But it looks like here you have released either EP splits, albums, or singles every year, and sometimes multiples in a year since you pretty much started.
Yeah, I think
that's awesome.
Everything.
I mean, to me that's awesome that you can stay that busy and continue to put out quality material.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, it's my hobby, so it's what I do in my free time. It's what I do all the time, really. So I do tend to get songs finished, quicker than I would usually if I was in like a band situation where I had to rely on people's schedules. I had to book recording time and all that kind of thing. So it really helps that I do everything on my own at home.
Definitely.
Because I can just get things done. I do take ages to get things done because I'm always focused in on things, and I'm like a perfectionist, if you know what I mean. I'm trying to get every little detail done. So it does take me quite a while, quite a bit longer than I would like sometimes to get things done. I do get the benefit of not having to book studios and
wait because you can do it all at your own step there.
Yeah, exactly. So and I've got no one to fight with about what the songs should sound like or
who's going to be louder in the mix.
Yeah, exactly. I don't. Once it's done, it's done. I don't have to show anyone else anything. Which
begs me to ask a question. This is just a recording project. Is there ever a chance for a possible set of shows ever?
Yeah. I've played live a few times. I started. It was primarily a recording project, and I still prefer the writing process and things. But I got a live band together, a bunch of my friends, in 2016, and over the last couple of years we played a couple shows. But last year is when 2020, so 2019 is when things kind of really started to progress. We got our first tour booked, so we toured Europe. We played a couple shows. We played the Roadburn Festival warm-up. We played a show with Midnight. We played with Orange Goblin and Discharge.
Nice.
We're just this year we were supposed to be on tour with Midnight throughout Europe for a month or so, but of course everything was cancelled because of
Oh yeah, the world burned down, and
yeah.
We've all went to shit. Shout out to Midnight on the show here, because I had Vanek back on the show back in May. Such an awesome dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. All those guys are cool.
Oh yeah, you just recently released The Affair of the Poisons back in October.
Yeah, October 9th.
And it looks like here that it's about the 17th century France, correct?
Yeah.
Tell me some more about that album.
Basically, it's 8 tracks. It's there's a more thrash influence, I guess, on these 8 tracks than there was in some previous material. I think I've just added some new elements to the Hellripper sound, trying to kind of evolve while still retaining the Hellripper sound, if you know what I mean. Yeah, the lyrics all kind of deal with like the occult, witchcraft, some kind of true historical events, like the Affair of the Poisons. And yeah, I think it's an album that I'm really proud of, and people seem to like it so far from what I can see. And yeah, I'm just glad that people seem to enjoy it, really.
Definitely. And it looks like you've put it out on quite a few different formats. You've got it, of course, everybody has digital these days, but you've also got CDs and you have vinyl as well.
Yeah, and cassette as well.
Oh, wow. See, that's so cool that has come back, I think. I'm not a huge fan of cassettes because I've only got like one thing to play them, but like that seems to be a super cool market for a lot of collectible people these days. Is the cassette? Yeah, the
cassettes do quite well. Yeah, I was surprised when I first started releasing cassettes, because I'm not a collector myself of cassettes, and I didn't know there was such a big market for them until I started to release, and I got interest from cassette labels. So yeah, it's really cool to see that, and you can do like cool things with the cassette. You can give it a new layout. It is cool from a collectible point of view as well.
Definitely. Continuing to write here, let me ask you this question. You say you do everything. Now, are the drums actual physical drums, or are they digital?
They're programmed, but with a lot of like different samples, if you know what I mean. Like I layer a lot of samples. I've got quite a few of my own samples that I recorded that I use. And yeah, I try to make them sound as real as possible. So, I mean, a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people can't tell the difference. A lot of people can really tell the difference. I mean, I like how it sounds, so I've got no problem with it. And yeah, it makes everything easier for me as well. Like I say, no hiring studios and all that kind of stuff.
Right. You know, you can do all of this yourself. You don't have to invest a crazy amount of time in working through this in a studio setting.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is, you know, I don't know how it is there, but here in America, you know, if you want a good quality studio, you're going to be looking at spending like $60+ an hour usually.
Yeah, I've actually got no idea what the prices are here, but I live in quite a remote area, so I don't think there's like a studio near me at all. So that would also be a hassle. I think it would be at least 1 hour, 2 hour drive to get to a studio.
Oh, wow.
I think, I actually haven't checked if there's anything like nearby, but yeah, so it's, like I say, you don't need to schedule studio hours. Like there's not a certain time that I need to record. I can just come in my room at any point and get things done and all that. So in that end as well, it saves a lot of time, a lot of planning and stuff like that.
Definitely. You have a very firm grasp on what it is you want it to sound like.
Yeah, exactly.
And obviously it's doing good, because you can look, that is the one awesome thing about Bandcamp, is you can see who all has supported your albums and such on there. And I think that's super cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Bandcamp's such a good thing for discovering like music and seeing what other people, like-minded people, your friends and things, are also buying, like with the feed and stuff like that, and the recommended albums. Yeah, there's so much cool shit on Bandcamp that you can do.
Definitely. I support that a lot, and for the independent musician, it has become the independent musician's Amazon in a way.
Yeah.
Where you could find so many awesome things, so many awesome bands, splits, and order them without having to, you know, and as much as I love going into like a brick and mortar and buying an album from somebody, back in the day, it used to be like, if I wanted something from a band overseas, it'd be a higher rate, because I'd have to pay because of the import cost and so on and so forth. But now it's all, direct to the artist. And I think that's cool because it means that you get more the money in your pocket as opposed to having everybody else get it.
Yeah, definitely. And it's easy to be a part of as well. Like, you can just upload your album and be on Bandcamp within a couple of minutes. So
right, and it's legitimate too. It's an actual legitimate purchasing platform because like Billboard magazine and stuff like that, they actually take Bandcamp sales into consideration. Yeah,
exactly. Which is really cool and really helpful. Like, it's a good way of tracking all your sales. It's like a good storefront as well as like an analytics tool as well.
Very much. And even now, even a lot of these independent record labels and stuff have been on there, which is super awesome as well. But you know what? We're going to take a real quick break. We're going to come right back with more Hellripper here at the Metal Forge. Since 1973, Tattoo Charlie's has been an established body modification studio in Kentucky, featuring world-renowned artists and piercers, currently with locations on Preston Highway and in Lexington, a staple point in the tattoo community. Learn more at TattooCharlies.com. Set up your appointment today at 7904 Preston Highway. Our tattoos are done while you wait.
Hey, it's Mark Maxwell at Maxwell's House of Music. Listen, all this stuff is now available to purchase on our website. Check it out at Maxwell'sHouseOfMusic.com.
We carry all the top brands, like Fender.
We got Gibson.
We also have basses.
We've got ukuleles.
We got drums.
We've got sound gear.
We've got keyboards.
When it comes to actually being a musician, what is it for you that makes you play music?
I just enjoy it, really. There's not really a deeper answer. I just love playing guitar. I love writing music. I love listening to music. There's not really a more in-depth answer I can give other than I just absolutely love everything, music and doing it.
So by that rationale, if music wasn't there, what do you think you would be doing?
Oh, well, I've got no idea. I mean, music in some form takes up like 90% of my day. So, I've got no idea. Maybe some fuck knows.
For sure.
I haven't given a thought.
I think my favorite answer to that was, well, I can't sing or dance. So that's why they played music. So yeah, I get it. It's a thing that, I think anybody who's a musician, especially the ones that play instruments, singers, whatever, I sing also. And it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, everybody can sing to a degree, whether it's good or bad, they can sing.
Yeah.
But like, if you play a stringed instrument or you play anything, any instrument, it's like it gets in your bones somehow.
Yeah.
And if you write music, it's even more in there, and you just are just like, wow, this is something I have to do.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, especially writing music. It's just so fun for me. I'm always like thinking up like melodies or something like while I'm just walking or so. Yeah, it consumes my thoughts like all the time.
Definitely. I could buy that because it's like I said, it's one of those things where it just gets in there and it's hard to, just say, I can't do this anymore. I don't know. I've taken like an extended period of time off. I took like a year off writing and playing music, and I thought I was going to go crazy.
Yeah. I try. Sometimes I have breaks. Well, I decide to have a break. Like, it's usually when I'm not feeling like inspired, or if I can't come up with anything, I try and give myself a break. But I always like find myself like itching to do it. I'm always like thinking of something in my mind, like, oh, this would be a cool idea. I think it'd be very difficult for me not to take a break for an extended period of time, I think, from actually writing and doing music related things.
Definitely. With you being the one-man show here, after an album is released, can you listen back to it objectively?
Sometimes. More often, no. Just because especially with this last album, I spent so long doing everything and worrying about every detail. It was like the only thing in my life for a few months, and I was constantly at it, recording, mixing, writing, making adjustments. So by the end of it, you're kind of like sick of it. You can't tell what's good or what's bad about the album. And then when you release the album, all you can hear is like the mistakes licks or parts that you're unhappy with or things you wish you could have done better or wish you changed, all that kind of thing. So for at least a couple of months after a release, I don't really listen. Just because it'll drive me mad. I'll be like, oh no, I should have put this note in that guitar solo here. Or I should have recorded this vocal part for 1 second longer than it lasts or whatever. Like, so yeah.
Understandable. And it's one of those things where if you don't take that time to not listen to it, I guess it's one of those where you're going to nitpick and say, I wish I did that better. And now it's already out being produced. And, and then it's to the point where it's almost like you can't change it.
Yeah, that's what I get my girlfriend kind of like judge, like listen to things, and I'll be like going crazy, like, oh, this part on guitar, like listen to how terrible it is, like, oh, I made such a bad mistake. And she'll be like, that I literally cannot hear a difference to the other version or whatever. I'll record like 50 vocal takes of the same line, and
very much.
and she'll be like, oh, I can't really, there's like no difference between take 1 and take 50. I'm like, oh no, you can hear this part here. There's like a tiny like crackle sound or something here. And I tend to notice like all the tiny little details. So yeah, by the end, I'm just like, thank fuck, I'm done.
I can relate to that 100% because me being a vocalist, that's the bane of my existence is recording vocals. And then while the engineer is doing his routine of listening back and mixing it while we're going. Yeah. And I have to listen to the same 8 seconds of music where I'm just like, rah, rah, doing my line, barking it out or whatever. And I'm just like, God, I fucking hate this.
Yeah, man.
It's like, are you sure I can't do that any better? What? Because it's the musician critique of myself.
Yeah, exactly. And with vocals as well, I mean, it's everything affects your vocal performance. You can have a sore throat or a cold or whatever. So it's like there's so much factors for vocals that can affect it.
Oh, definitely. And here it's really cool to know that like musicians are pretty much kind of all cut from the same cloth. Yeah. Because even I've read in interviews and stuff where even Ozzy doesn't even listen back to his stuff after he's done. Yeah. Because of that same reason. Yeah,
I think I used to be okay doing it. But yeah, over time when I started doing it and I wasn't really experienced in like mixing and stuff. I think I was just like kind of proud to have like an end product, and I really like the end result. But now that I kind of know what I'm doing and I do things to I think to a better standard now, I kind of I get like caught up in seeing all the imperfections or whatever.
Right, absolutely. So when is a song considered done for you?
I mean, when you can't really think of anything else to add, I think. I mean, once I've recorded everything and all the vocals are done, if I listen back and I don't think there's anything that I can do to improve it, I think it's done. But I mean, is it ever done? I mean, there's always something you can do, but I think you've got to know when to stop, because there's the danger of overdoing it as well, I guess.
Definitely, and it gets so far away from the original idea.
Yeah, exactly. There's been times where I've added like layers and loads of like guitar parts or whatever to like a song, and it just sounds like a complete mess. It sounds like everything's going on, and it's like, yeah, I've overdone that. I need to like rein it back, bring it back to basics, I guess. And so yeah, it's just finding the balance.
Definitely. The reason I ask is I've got some friends that have like completely re-recorded songs for like the last 15 years. So it's like, when does it reach a point when it's done? Yeah, you've just got to. Yeah, I think it's like a gut feeling as well. When you're happy with it, I guess. That's what I do, because if it was up to me, I'd like re-record everything for like 15 years as well. Oh, but, wow.
Yeah, you've got to kind of just realize it's time. Like it sounds good right now. You're just going to ruin it, or you're going to lose the original spirit or intent of the song. It's going to feel disjointed. You're going to, and then by the time you re-record it again, you're not going to be happy with another element.
Right.
So, I mean, that should have been a simple answer to the question, but I went on for a bit.
No, that's absolutely correct, though, I would say.
Yeah.
Is because,
I mean, the song was done when when you think it's done, I guess, when you think it's ready. Yeah.
For sure. Because, like we said, you re-record it for 15 years, and if it doesn't fit the need over the time span, and when it finally does, it does.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, a lot of people that re-record songs, a lot of times the results aren't as good as the original to most people's ears.
Right. So I guess when a song is done is whenever you as a musician or artist decide that it is. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a real quick break, and we're going to come back with some general profile questions for the Hellripper.
Hey guys, Wrestling Steve of the Wrestling Steve Show here. So if you're currently listening to the Metal Forge with Mark Jackson, then you understand that Mark Jackson has a pretty discerning taste when it comes to music as a whole. You'll also understand that he has a discerning taste for professional wrestling, just like me. My show is called the Wrestling Steve Show. I talk about modern and classic pro wrestling in a completely unbiased, unfiltered way. Be sure to check me out on all available podcasting platforms. That is the Wrestling Steve Show. And I am the host, Wrestling Steve. Just remember, like Confucius said, man who goes through turnstile in Thailand is going to Bangkok. Pro wrestling.
All right, so this is all about James. These are some general profile questions that we like to ask here on the Metal Forge about you as a person, because we're all people here. We're all in this together, as everyone has said during the pandemic here. Some of these are listener-submitted questions, so if you're game, we're game.
Yeah, I'm game.
All right. What is the best concert you ever attended?
The best concert, I think, would probably be probably for like nostalgic reasons as well, would be my first show that I went to, which was Airborne with Black Spiders and Taking Dawn. It was the first show I ever went to. I think I was 14 or 15.
Who's your favorite visual artist?
Visual artist. Visual artist. There's quite a few. In terms of like metal and stuff, I think Mark Riddick is really good. Guy called Adam Burke, who's done quite a few things for a lot of metal bands. He's really good. The artist that I use regularly, Skav Valder, he's great. And the guy that done the latest Havoc album, I can't remember his name. He done the latest Havoc album and the latest Vampire album. He's killer.
Are you currently learning any new skills?
Nope, just playing guitar. Just trying to improve my guitar skills, my songwriting skills, but nothing new, really.
Understandable. Hey, you can always improve on yourself, I guess, right?
Yeah, definitely. I can definitely improve on guitar for sure.
Which would lead me to, what is one thing you'd change about yourself?
I would learn to be less perfectionist, if you know what I mean. I'd stop worrying about the little details and songs and stuff like that.
Right on. What instrument would you want to learn how to play?
I think it'd be cool to learn piano and keyboard. That'd be cool. It could like open up loads of like possibilities. I mean, not in Hellripper, of course, but in other like projects, or just I think it'd just be fun. I love the sound of a piano, so it'd be cool to play that. And again, like drums, to play drums to like a good level, like would be amazing. I'm always like watching drum videos on YouTube and things.
I would second the drum thing.
Because,
yeah.
It's like so fun watching like the drummers on YouTube, like death metal and thrash drummers, like Carlos Cruz from Warbringer. He's ridiculous. Pete Weber from Havoc. Yeah, just watching like that type of stuff. It's just amazing to me. Like,
well, what gets me is like them making it look so easy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I understand it's years of practice and tempo and, tempo and graining and things like that. But it's like, what? I watch like Maytal, and she is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus, it's like, what? What is something you've always wanted to do but have not the coordination to do?
Yeah, drums.
Understand. Pretty simple on that one, huh?
Yeah, again, I could play drums to like a basic level. Yeah, I would love to be able to like control all both my hands and both my legs to like play crazy like Slayer stuff on drums. Slayer's simple compared to like the stuff that you get, but yeah, like playing double bass or blast beats or something like that. I'd love to be able to do that.
Awesome. Who do you wish you never saw live?
Who do I wish I never saw live? I've got to think.
Not that you don't like them. But, seeing them live completely ruined it for you. Like
Yeah.
they were better on album.
I think would be Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're my favorite band of all time, and I saw them live 2011 or so, and it was both a mixture of, I don't think the band was that great. It was just after John Frusciante, their longtime guitarist, left. So I think it was their first tour after that. So I don't think they were quite gelling with each other yet. Combine that with I never ate or drank anything all day, and I almost passed out halfway through the show. So I had to make my way from the front all the way to the back of a couple of thousand people arena to get out of the venue, because I lost all the vision, lost all my vision. I couldn't see a thing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was so dehydrated and unwell. So I turned around and I was stumbling, pushing past everyone, falling into people, trying to find my way out of the arena. So that didn't really help the experience.
Oh, definitely not.
The only time that's really happened to me. I learned afterwards to
at least eat or drink something for sure. Probably given the opportunity to go again, you would probably go see them again live.
I think so, yeah.
Just to get a redo for that experience.
Yeah, I think so. But in terms of metal bands, I can't think of any that were bad. Yeah, I can't think of any.
Right on. What is your favorite word?
Word. I mean, a good one that I use, a lot of people in the UK and Scotland use is cunt.
Absolutely. A little bit of a different meaning here, but
yeah, I know.
Understandable.
Yeah, I know it's such an unacceptable word in the US and things, but here it's just a term of endearment. You say it to your friends, you say it to anyone. It's it's a friendly bad word.
Absolutely, I get it. I think that's the first time this has been said on the show. Congratulations. Do you believe in the paranormal?
No, I don't. Yeah, no, I've not had any experiences or anything. Yeah, quite boring in that respect.
No. I mean, some people, you're right. It's a see to believe kind of thing, or they think that there's something else out there. Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
It's just that. Yeah, I've never had any experience. I've never saw anything weird, unnatural, or something that I can recall. So, yeah, I'm not a believer, unfortunately.
No, I get it. 100%. Denim or leather?
I wear a leather jacket all the time, but in terms of trousers, I couldn't wear leather, I don't think. So I like a nice mixture between the two, denim bottom and leather top half.
You have definitely answered it correctly. Denim and leather.
Yeah, denim and leather.
It's not an either. Who would you want to meet that you've never met?
I think I'd like to, maybe a musician that I could learn a lot of stuff from, that had been through a lot of shit, with the music industry or just in terms of things. Maybe but then again, they say don't meet your heroes.
Yeah, you'll always be let down.
Yeah. Yeah. All the guys that I've met that I enjoy their music so far, I've got nothing bad to say about them. They were all great. But I say, the guys from Midnight, they were all great. Yeah. Who would I meet? See, it could be the guys from Metallica or Megadeth or something like that. These guys that have kind of been through they've done so much. They've been through the changes in the music industry. They've been the biggest in their style. They've declined in popularity. They've shot up in popularity again. Yeah, someone like that. Yeah, or maybe someone like Paul McCartney, actually.
Nice.
He's lived through everything in the music industry. He's invented modern.
Invented modern recording.
Yeah, exactly. So just all his experiences, all his influences, all his knowledge, what he's observed with the changes in the music industry, and he's recorded 100 albums or whatever. It'd be crazy.
Absolutely.
Someone like that.
I could go with Paul on that as well, because that would be such a cool thing, because somebody who has done what he'd done in a short amount of time with the Beatles.
Yeah. Yeah.
And have his own solo career, and then pretty much retire from it, and then come back and still just be so magnanimous.
Yeah, he's still so good now. I'm not sure about the last couple of years, but his live performances, from a couple of years ago, that I've seen on YouTube, he's still got it. He still plays for hours, and he gives everything, and yeah, you can just tell that he really enjoys the music. And
oh, definitely. You know, and for him being, you know, being out there on the road, even up into like last year, being like 78.
Yeah, like what's that, 60 years now or something like that?
Oh yeah, at least. Yeah. Well, I mean, you figure since about 1962. So yeah, crazy good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just and like I say, from all the changes that you would witness throughout the music industry, with like the rise of like all the different kinds of music that were popular, like metal coming along, like dance music coming along, and then he was also like, well, with the record labels, like screwing everyone, like being in control and taking like everyone's money
and the rights to their music too,
and the rights to their music and stuff. Yeah, there's just so much shit that you could discuss or like learn about, I guess, from someone like that.
Definitely. What food can you not stand?
What food can I not stand? Brussels sprouts.
Definitely.
Absolutely hate.
What is your favorite animal?
Favorite animal? Oh, difficult. I like all animals. Pandas are cool. But I love dogs. Yeah, I love dogs.
Right on. Any particular breed of dog?
Not really. Nah, dogs are cool.
Yeah, they. My dad always used to say that, you know, they don't love you for status, they love you for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a cool thing. So
yeah, all dogs are cool and nice.
All right, so I got a few more questions here, but before we get into that, do you have any shout-outs you want to give to anybody?
Shout-outs? Yeah, check out a couple bands like we had previously on the podcast, on the show, Oath from Scotland. Yeah, check out Whip Striker, like I mentioned before. A band called Butcher, who put out a new album earlier this year, which was killer. My friends in a death metal band called Live Burial, they put out an album earlier this year as well, which was killer. And Skeletal from France, again, another killer death metal band. Wraith, a killer metal punk band.
Oh yeah, love those guys too.
Yeah, Wraith, a killer. Off the top of my head, yeah, that's all I can think of right now.
Awesome. And if anybody wanted to purchase albums or send you any kind of feedback, how would they go about doing that?
If you want to purchase any albums or whatever, you can go to the hellripper.bandcamp.com. That's for music and merch, etc. People in the US or Canada or whatever, you may want to check Peaceville's US store for the new album, or Amazon. I mean, I think they've got it. And yeah, if you want to speak to me or if you've got any questions or whatever, you can email me at hellrippermetal@gmail.com, or you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and all those places where I'm quite active.
Awesome. And like always, we'll have links below for you all to click on and be able to access that info.
Excellent.
All right, we're going to take one last break here, and I'm coming back with James McBain of Hellripper. We're going to ask a couple more questions, and then we're going to listen to some more music here at the Metal Forge. Thank you all for tuning in. Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into the Metal Forge this week. I really appreciate every last one of you that listens. But before I go any further, I do want to tell you that we do have a Patreon page here. And there's 3 tiers. There's the down and dirty dollar tier. It's just $1. Hey, you're not going to miss $1. Nobody does. Then there's the $5 Showstoppers tier, which you get a patch, stickers, whatever we have that's in that price range. And then there's the $20 a month Master, where you can get a t-shirt, any size, any color of the Metal Forge logo. Fuck yeah, that's awesome stuff. Oh, and by the way, if you donate on there, guess what? You get the show 2 days in advance from everybody else. Thank you all so much. It's patreon.com/metalforgeradio. Check it out and donate today. I love you guys. Thank you. What album changed your life?
In terms of metal, it would be And Justice for All and Peace Sells, But Who's Buying? Those 2 albums I heard around the same time when I was maybe 13 or 14, something like that. And I heard those albums like really like one after the other, like right next to each other. For some reason, I can't remember how. And yeah, those like I absolutely loved what I heard, and I went out and bought them straight away. And then that's how my journey into like extreme metal and things got started. So I bought all the Metallica albums, all the Megadeth albums, then Slayer, then Cannibal Corpse, and then you get into more extreme type stuff. You find Toxic Holocaust, Warbringer, like obscure stuff, and Midnight and all that kind of stuff.
Right, all these newer age thrash bands.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up with like YouTube, so that's probably how I heard the two albums, probably on YouTube, and then from there you can just use the related videos tabs, and that's how I discovered like the new wave, the thrash revival or whatever, and all the traditional metal that was coming out at that time. So there's so much stuff. Like you had Toxic Holocaust, Municipal Waste, Warbringer, Havoc, and then you had the Enforcer, Steel Wing, Skull Fist, and all that type of stuff. Yeah, all those stuff.
Definitely, and I do want to bring up the Bandcamp thing here one more time with this.
Yeah,
is they do the same thing.
Yeah,
for the listeners out there, they do the same thing. That if you get any of the Hellripper stuff, scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page of anything that you buy, and it'll show you anything that any band recommends and anything that is similar to another band. For example, like you've got Blood Incantation, Nuke, awesome stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's cool, and you can just use the tags on Bandcamp as well.
Definitely.
I just go onto a band that you like, or just type in speed metal or thrash metal or whatever, and it comes up with new releases or the most popular releases at the time, which is a great way to see what's good at the moment.
For sure. Describe your art in one sentence.
My art, in terms of the artwork or the act, or my
your music.
The music. Fast speed metal. I mean, it's not really a sentence, but I mean, I would just say it's fast metal music. There's not much to really.
I understand. Fast speed metal. That.
Yeah, just listen to it. It's not really deep. I mean, there are bands that you can say paragraphs about, like, oh, this and this, but yeah, it's just
kind of puts it to the point.
Yeah, I mean, if you listen to Hellripper, it's straight to the point. I mean, it's fast, fun music, metal.
Definitely. So, for anybody out there who's a younger musician, or even the older people that listen to the show, last question here: what advice would you give somebody?
I would say learn to do as much things by yourself, that involve the music process. So I mean, you learn as much instruments as you can by yourself. Learn how to mix and record and things by yourself. That'll save you time and money. And even if you don't want to do everything yourself, it's valuable to have the skills on different instruments, so you can kind of direct people to your vision, or you can get what's in your mind, so it's better interpreted by other people. And even in terms of things like graphic design, if you learn how to use graphic design, that can save a lot of time and money when starting a band, getting advertisement things done, or just little Facebook, social media pictures, all that. Learn how to write emails properly, learn how to read your analytics properly by yourself. Just learn as much skills involved as you can to a passable degree, because there's a lot of skills there that I wish I knew when I first started Hellripper and first started recording.
Absolutely, because I mean, you never know what's going to stick to the wall, as they say.
Yeah, just in terms of like I mentioned there, the graphic design and things, I had to learn that, because it's really annoying when you want to get even something simple like a Facebook banner or a profile picture, and it needs to be in a certain dimensions, like a certain size or whatever, and you have to get someone else to do it, and it costs you money and it costs you time, and it's just a simple job. So if you learn basics, you can get a lot of things done.
For sure. James, thank you so much for coming on the show this week, celebrating the new year here. I appreciate everything that you've done. And off of the Affair of the Poisons, what do you want us to play out on the way out today?
Well, thank you very much for having me. It was fun talking to you for the last while. Really appreciate it. You can play the track Blood Orgy of the She-Devils from the Affair of the Poisons. I think it's a nice, fun track.
It's just got the title that rips.
Yeah, it's a fun title. The title kind of describes the song, I would say, musically.
Definitely.
You know what to expect.
Right. And here it is, Blood Orgy of the She-Devils.
Go for time. Musicians, rejoice. Confused with all the modern and technical pedalboard selections? Look no further. Kentucky Hot Brown Pedalboards offer their homemade wooden and custom pedalboards for guitarists and bassists alike. Established in 2013, KYHBPB has helped support not only the local Louisville scene, but a large array of big and small players from across the entire country. More info can be found at KentuckyPedalboards.com.